Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom.Strategies. So in this video, I want to talk about Ethereum. This is an overdue video where I talked about Litecoin, I talked about Ripple, Cardano, obviously Bitcoin, but haven't covered Ethereum in a while. So let's get into Ethereum. Let's do a deep dive into Ethereum. Alright, before we get it started, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I post new content every day. If you think this is helpful, if you think you're learning something, then please give me a thumbs up, and I will keep on continuing to do this video review for you every day. Alright, let's get in Ethereum. So I'm looking at Ethereum against USD. The data is coming from the Coinbase exchange. So Ethereum was looking very strong, especially into the second week of January, when it made that all-time high. It went all the way up to 14,000, and since then it's been gradually coming down. It was looking relatively strong compared to the other altcoins, Bitcoin, especially when we had that leg down. Since then it had a heavy sell-off, but it wasn't like a sell-off with a lot of volume. If you see this thing, like in Ethereum, I didn't see a lot of huge, like, especially this down tick. Let's look at this. If you price range, okay, that was almost 50% down leg we had, right? But I did not see like huge volume uptick in Ethereum. That really tells me that there are a lot of people who are willing to hold Ethereum for longer run, and that's for like very good reason, because Ethereum is one of those coin and project that have really smart team behind it. A lot of people are working on it. They're constantly improving their platform, and the fundamental of the coin is very strong. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we always want to, like, a lot of time technical analysts get stuck with like the chart pattern, and and they can't read past beyond the charts. A lot of time the fundamental guys, they get stuck with the project fundamental, but they can't read like when to get in, when to get out, basically how to make money. So in Phantom Strategy, over the years I have been trading different markets based on a hybrid approach, not just looking at the technical analysis or just fundamentals, because both strategy have their downfalls and shortcomings. If you just trade based on technical analysis, you will have some shortfall. You will have some downfalls. I will be the first one to tell you that. If you just trade on fundamentals, same thing. You have to really trade and invest based on both, combine it, and you just have to create the right mixture of those both strategy in order to become a better trader, better investor, and really stop trading or investing like an amateur and start investing like a professional. All right. So you want to make sure that you have you're trying to constantly adapting. At the same time, you're not getting hung up on one of those things. Be agile. That's you can. I always refer back to a Darwin quote on it's not the strongest or the smartest guy who survives, is the one who's most adaptive to the change. Same thing with the markets. Markets they evolve over time, and like people who come and get out of the market, they keep on changing as well. So something that might work for you, last year in 2017 might not work for you in 2018. So you have to, first of all, you have to understand those things, and then second of all, you have to create a game plan and proper adjustment to your trades based on that. You have to figure out what kind of market you're in. If you're in a uptrend market, downtrend market, sideways market, so those things you have to really work on it. That being said, I'm really working on like a class right now, or like a course right now. When I'm doing this portfolio analysis for the viewers. I'm seeing so many like basic mistakes, and that could be easily avoided, and it can save you a lot of money by just avoiding this basic mistake. And I sometimes I just scratch my head just looking at those basic mistakes, because it's so basic, and because of those mistakes, like, people have lost significant amount of money, and it could have been easily avoided. I'm creating that course right now. That's work in progress for all the new investors in the crypto community right now, all the viewers on the Phantom community. So take a look at it. When I'm ready, I will share it with you, and hopefully that really kind of gets into the detail of like the technical analysis, fundamentals, and covers the whole thing. So I will share with you more detail once I'm ready with it. Okay. Coming back to Ethereum. Right now on the daily, it's taking the support from the 100-day moving average. If you see this, it's taking that nice support, and it's also coming up against this trend line that I just drew. So this major trend line, we're gonna make that red. As always, a major one's gonna be red. If I can just fix this, I'm very picky about like the points I want to touch. So okay, so right now it's taking the support. I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit so you can see it better. It's taking the support right now. It's coming to that pinch action. What I'm seeing right here is this will break to the upside or downside. The wedge pattern is it can go either way. It's hard. Honestly, it's hard for me to say which way is gonna break. I blindly don't like to make call. If the odds are in the bull's favor, then I will be more than happy to make the call. If the odds are in bear's favor, then I will be more than happy to make the call. But we are sitting at the junction right now where it can go either way. We have a lot of support on the downside from the 100-day moving average. On the upside, we have a lot of resistance from this trend line that's coming all the way from January. On the top of that, there's a 9-day moving average that's sitting up there. So on the both side, there's enough cases to be made on both up and down side. So that's why I'm saying that it could break either way. That being said, you can always, if you feel like you have a strong, convincing argument on the bull side, you can always, make a trade on that. I cannot stop you make a trade. All right. So there's always, you can do that risk management that I showed you previously. If you're getting a long trade, let's say if you get into a long trade here, then you want to maybe put your stops right at that below the trend line, right? It is right at like 7% or 6%. And you know that your upside could be around, you want to make it a little bit over that 50-day resistance, because the 50-day resistance will be a major resistance, and it will hit. So maybe just below that 50-day moving average resistance, which will be around 17%. So you're risking 6%. So if you come up here, so your risk to reward ratio is 2.83, which is a low risk to reward ratio. I like to have it close to like maybe 4 or 5, but like again, it's really up to you. What are you comfortable with? Because some people are more comfortable with like certain risk levels, some people are not, some people are more conservative, some people are more liberal. So it's really up to you. What is your risk tolerance? I'm not telling you to make any trade. I cannot legally tell you to make any trade. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do keep that in mind. Anything that you hear me tell you on this channel by comments on the video is completely my opinion. I'm not giving you any financial advice. All right, so please keep that in mind. Be responsible trader, be responsible investor. All right. That being said, this is, the risk to reward is around like 2.8. If you get into this trade right here, there's a stop losses that you can put in right underneath the trend line, just in case that it doesn't go in your favor. Your downside can be around 6%. Or there's another strategy that you can do is you buy in increments. You buy small positions. Let's say if you want to have $1,000 you want to put into Ethereum, okay, you buy maybe like, you know, since it's coming up against resistance, you might want to buy like, you know, $300 or maybe $400. Let's say if it comes down, then you might you want to buy additional $200-300. So you know, you want to get a better price average. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to get a better price average. That strategy is especially for someone who likes to keep it for longer term. But again, buy and hold strategy is not, I mean, unless you got it on a dip like really low around like 500 levels, and then you just wanna, even if you got in at a 500 level, I mean, you should take some profit off at that 900 level. I mean, that's almost 100% gains, 80%, whatever it is. I mean, you have to take this profit. Like, just take something out, you know, and you can always reinvest because you know that you're gonna get the pullback. You could have just saved that 20% in the pullback, and you could have reinvested that money in it. So those, you know, those are some things that a lot of new investors, a lot of new traders really miss out on. And I hopefully, like in that the course that I'm talking about, I'm gonna explain those things in detail, and that will be something that you can always refer back to. That course is completely yours to keep. You know, it's yours. You know, that's you look at it, you review it, you play it again and again, and you get comfortable with it. Okay. So I'll share more details on it. So let's look at the smaller time frame. Okay, all right. So as I said, it's coming up against that, you know, that the pinch action right here, the wedge. It can be bullish, it can be bearish. It's just hard to say right now. It's just I don't know. No one will make this call. I mean, it's just like, you know, if the stacks are like, you know, if the odds are in like bull's favor, as I said before, I will definitely make that call. I have made that call on Bitcoin when it went to 10,000, 11,000. Like, if there is like enough odds in the favor, I will make that call. Same thing on the downside. When we are getting up against the resistance, I was keep on saying that, you know, we are coming up against the resistance zone. So when there is enough information, when there is enough odds in the favor of either side, I will make that call. But if there is nothing, if there's kind of like, you know, situation is still kind of like panning out, then, you know, why do I want to like make that call? Like, it's stupid to make that call. Well, I mean, as I said, you want to be professional investor rather than amateur trader. Okay. So that's all, guys. That's all for Ethereum. I'm gonna quickly go for Bitcoin real quick. All right. So in morning video, I made Bitcoin. I was keep on saying that we are gonna come up against this resistance, the trend line, the pink one for the short term. If you see that it exactly hit that 9, let me zoom in. And this is like, I'm not making any of this thing up. It's just like, it works. Technical analysis works, and like, you know, if you combine that with fundamentals, you will be golden. Like, you know, you have to this is like this is not a rocket science. This is just like something that you have to get comfortable with when you do it enough. Nobody was, you know, born with it. Like, you know, it's just in numbers. It's all numbers game, and you don't have to be a mathematician to, like, you know, to become, like, you know, better at it. So like, but it's just like simply like numbers. You know, it's like stacking the odds in your favor. That's all. All right. So if you look at this thing, Bitcoin, it came right at that resistance line around 10,300. We might went little bit over that, but like we came right back. All right, that 9-day resistance, 9-day moving average was acting as a resistance. That trend line was acting as a resistance. So we're coming right on it, sitting on the second trend line, which was a resistance. So let's see how this weekend, you know, go by, and we can see like if we have enough juice to make it run toward that 11,000 mark, because mark we need to break sooner or later, and we need to break that this resistance zone that we were in previously. All right, so that's all, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, post it in the comment. I'm pretty good about replying to them. Let me know if you're holding these positions. I just want to see what kind of position you guys are holding. I will try to help out as much I can. I try not to get into the making the calls on where should I put my stop loss. I honestly want to stay away from those things, because it's just gets too much sometimes. So it's better to I will try to, I know some viewers who are regular on the channel. I know every single one of my regular viewers, so I know them by name. So I will be more than happy to, because I know they have been with Phantom Strategy since early days, since the week 1. As you probably know, we're only a month or a month and a half old. We're a very new up and coming community, so I know a lot of the regulars by name, and I'm really glad that they have learned a lot of things. I get so many emails regarding that they are learning so many investment strategies and so many market psychology, and that really makes me happy, because if I can make even small difference in your investment, that you in a positive way, that's nothing like it. All right, so stay tuned, and I will definitely do more videos for you. Okay, and if you want to do, if you're new to the channel, and if you want me to do the portfolio analysis, then shoot me an email. I have the information down in this video, so if you want that portfolio analysis, then shoot me a video and I will get that done. All right, thank you guys, talk to you soon.